Hey guys, Stealth here, and welcome back to more Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. It's episode 8 of the 1940s German historic campaign. Fortunately, relative to our last episode, all ships have been repaired, barring a few. The heavy cruiser Thor is still undergoing repair, so is the V4, and so is the DD V12. And that means our fleet is back in action. And we're immediately being kept busy by a lot of different fights. One of those is with the Bismarck. One of those, and this is the one I'm going to start with, is the Deutschland. This is the one with the 6 11-inch guns. She has a great crew. After a couple of months of training, we've been able to get these crews to level up. And she's fighting the light cruisers Calliope and Skirmisher. Again, torpedo-heavy light cruisers, 84 million a pop, 63 million for my heavy cruiser. So it's not that bad, but I'm defending 10 transports. I wonder if this ship can do that. Also, the ship is not terribly quick, the Deutschland, so that means I'm not very likely to really run into the enemy ships, but I turn extremely quickly. 242 meter turning circle, and I have Hydro 3. So I will be able to see those torpedoes coming from some distance. My biggest concern, however, is that the enemy is going to launch torpedoes at, here we are, at the Deutschland. And by doing so, accidentally hit the convoy. And there's not that much that I can do about that. It's going to be difficult to try and prevent that. If at all possible. Range 22 kilometers. I can hit out to 21.3 with AP shells. But I think this particular threat warrants HE shells, because we know that they have almost no armor. And HE at 20 kilometer range is still going to pen 3 inches of armor. So that ought to be enough to make the life of a light cruiser very annoying. Okay, I'm over here, you're over there, so I'm positioning myself directly between them, but I don't want that. I want to be over here. And the reason for that is that if they torp me while I'm over here, there's not really that much behind me. It's just water, ideally. With these 11-inch shells, I don't need to get a whole lot of damage into them to cause them to flood out. My challenge will be intercepting them. The Deutschland's just not that fast. That's the biggest concern I have. It's, oh, there we go. It's just overpen with HE? The Deutschland's just not that fast. It's a 27 knot cruiser. So trying to find enemy ships is not that hard, because I got Generation 2 radar. Actually catching up to them, that's different. So I might have made this thing a bit too slow. Oh, and it does come with torpedoes. 12.7 kilometer range, 21 inches, 36 knot torpedoes. Launched off the stern of the ship. Save actually some of your ammo, otherwise you're just going to run dry. And we won't have anything to shoot with. I mean, 5 inchers on this ship can probably still take out the targets, but I don't want to. This is probably going to get a little tedious. I doubt I can catch these. Sadly, it turned out to be a bit of a boring battle, and the Deutschland could not catch the Calliope and the Skirmisher. So this one, essentially a draw, but objective has been achieved, so I'm calling it a win, because none of my transports were torpedoed. And the economy is going to be very important, because we need to get those big ships out there. Oh, we did damage the Calliope lightly, yeah. Right, other battles. We have... And this is going to be interesting. The Leipzig is back. Leipzig is back. She is going to go up against the Bacchante, the Shannon, the Furies, the Forester, and the Winchester, defending yet another one of our convoys in the North Sea. Leipzig, we've seen her before, has no sonar. I cannot afford to lose transports. I have to take this fight, even if this ship is not the best option for this particular encounter. Oh, and I'm on the wrong side. Great, love it. Okay. Make it work. Make it work. Is this through smoke? This is not through smoke. Focus on this. 0.9% chance to hit. I think my best bet is to identify the ships and make the Leipzig ideally the bigger target. As these guys are going to turn this way, I'm going to turn this way and hope that I get torpedoed. Which is a terrible plan, but I can control the fate of the Leipzig by turning. They cannot control, or I cannot control the fate of my transports. Wow, you actually hit me. Don't do that. Yes, destroy the torpedo launcher. That's one of their quintuples. That's out of action. Beautiful first hit. Here's to many more. 40% ID, 40% ID. Leipzig, buddy, you're gonna get busy. So we're gonna put on a bit of a dance show today. Starting now. Hard over to port. Yes, overpen. Destroyed the funnel. How about that? Accidentally ricocheted off the light cruiser behind our target. No, actually, sorry, that was our target. But this guy got in the way. He just dumped torpedoes. Did you see those two splashes? That was him dumping torpedoes. Okay. Steady she goes. 68% ID. Maintain. Continue identifying that ship. I know it's a bit scummy, but if this is going to show me what sort of weaponry... what sort of weaponry they have, and allow me to spot and thus avoid torpedoes, yes. Oh god, that was a lot of damage. Right through the main deck and the main belt. Beautiful. Yeah, that thing is pretty much dead in the water. Firing high explosive? Really? Interesting choice. Hold. Furious has launched torpedoes against the battlecruiser. Unknown when. Shannon has not launched yet. Are you the one with the blown up torpedo launcher? Yeah, you are. Okay, so your starboard side still has torpedo launchers, but one less. Maintain a gradual turn starboard. Gradual, like 3 degrees or so. Okay, fine, 4. Secondaries cannot hit that destroyer yet. We're gonna eliminate the Furious first. Before we focus on anything else. And the Furious just launched torpedoes. Random singing happening. Hello. Oh shit. I have some bad news for you. Good god, man. What I got a good laugh out of, by the way, was somebody suggesting in the previous video comments, why don't you just charge them and run between them? So that they start torping each other. The problem is, they do. They do torp each other. They have absolutely no respect for each other's survivability. Normally, the AI would be very hesitant to torpedo a position that could hit a friendly. That was to be expected. But these days, they don't give a shit. The captains have been given to orders, seemingly, like, don't come home with all your torpedoes in the tubes. So they just dump them onto a friendly if that happens to be in the way. It's not pretty. Come on. Keep zigging and zagging. Zag harder to starboard now. Yeah, we dodged another wave. All skill. Absolutely all skill. No luck involved here. This is fine. Furious. Sink. Now you're getting it. Come on. Come on. Yep, partial pen fire. Anybody throw any more fish my way? Perhaps. Perhaps. Yes! Floodings! Floodings. That's it. More! Is this thing gonna sink? It might. Angle's not looking too good on this ship. Listing to starboard too much. But the issue is, if I let it live, it'll probably come back to bite me. So, it needs to go down. No, its buoyancy's going back up. They got the leak. They fixed it. Shit. Okay, fine. Engage. Blocked? What? That's not how my 15-inch shells are supposed to work. No, 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 no. Are you guys hugging again? No. Close, though. Annoying. You just threw a single torpedo tube my way. Well, not the tube, more like the torpedo, but, you know. Stuff. How fast are you even going? 14 knots, like not very quick. And you're flooding again. $13 knots. Come on. You need 1 or 2 good HE hits and you're dead. That it? No. I don't like the CA sitting here at 10 clicks out. Really don't. But the problem is if I push in here and this guy starts torping, I have nowhere to go. That's why I'm so focused on killing this light cruiser. Even if you could argue it's not really a high priority. Oh, fuck me. It is a far lower priority, because they're now engaging my transports. No, 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 no. Unacceptable behavior. There you go. That's what you deserve. 15-inch... What? 15-inch shot right through the bows. No, belt. Main belt. Boom! Destroyed secondary tower. That's more like it. However, the Köln... no longer here. Come on. Yes. Over pens and partial fires. No, partial pens. Sorry. Flooding. Furious is still holding. 14 knots, fine. Ah, there goes the Gazelle as well. Who is doing all this damage? It's the DDs. Oh, damn it. It's the destroyers. The destroyers doing exactly what they should be. Letting the heavy cruisers take all the attention. Don't do that. Take all the attention from the battlecruiser. While the destroyers just massacre my transports. Oh, I cannot lose a single more transport. Ui, ui, ui. More flooding. Yeah, sink this thing. Knock it out entirely. That thing just torped me. This thing also just torped me. There goes the Oldenburg. We're down. Mission's a failure. But it's gonna come at some expense to the British. Ooh. 21k. Oh god. It's gonna come at some expense to the British, because they will lose their heavy cruiser. They will still lose the light cruiser, although the Furies just doesn't know it yet. They're gonna also lose the destroyers. It's gonna happen. Go on. What the shit is this accuracy, though? Oh crap, we're running a little low on AP shells. 74. Uh-oh. HE. The economy's going to take a hit out of this one. Because I'm losing too many transports here. This is pretty bad. Boom! 1,300 damage. This is pretty bad for you. There goes your stern. And trust me, the Leipzig is really working hard to try and eliminate these ships. But I kind of let them through. Which of course is unacceptable, but we'll have our revenge. 5.6 clicks out. It's a bit too close. Yes! That's more like it. 2,300 damage. Boom! 600 damage. Who needs AP anyway? You're gone. Done. Engage. Forrester. Less than a % chance to hit? No, 2%. Almost 3. Increase the flank speed. Intercept. There you are. 15-inch hit on the DD. And we know that these British DDs are not built that well. That means that the Forester is probably dead. Yeah. Winchester. But they have already done all the damage that they needed to. Hit. They don't even need torps left either. Hit. Good day, Winchester. It teach the Brits not to harass my convoys anymore. Well, that's wishful thinking mostly. I mean, they will definitely come back for more of these. That light cruiser still needs to go. I could end the battle, but I'm not going to. That light cruiser is still waiting for me out there. To the northwest. Is it? Whoa, where? Here. Could you pop your smoke screen by any chance? There you were. Okay. A little while later, we are on the trail of the Furious, 15 clicks out and closing fast. The Furious, heavily damaged, can only do 14 knots. The ship is still listing to starboard pretty badly, but is trying to escape the area. Leipzig is in disagreement about that particular motion. So, what we're doing here is chasing it down. It's now down to 14 clicks. And while you could make the point, let the Furious survive, because that way it will at least be something that pushes on the British economy, as it was. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's nasty. That presses on the British economy, as it is. I'd rather sink it. Because the British, French, and Italians, well, not so much the Italians, but the British and the French have too much of a presence in the North Sea. And I would rather eliminate as many ships as possible to make sure that I'd free up my ships from convoy duties, rather than constantly have this issue of light cruisers harassing my ships and killing my transports. Speaking of killing, I think the Furious just had enough. Although, why she's not continuing to flood, I'm not too sure on. 7.5% chance to pen. Yeah, right. What? With your non-existent aft armor? How? How do I ricochet? It has 0 aft belt. Thank you. Ricochet. How? Of what? The deck? The conning tower? I have no idea. Anyway, the British gained more than 35 points because they sunk my transports. That sucks. They gained 31 victory points from that, but the Leipzig pulled through, sinking 2 heavies, 1 light, and 2 DDs. So the British fleet is down to 43 ships. They still have a lot, but we'll just have to make it work. Speaking of making it work, I am going to design the Scharnhorst. I think a battle cruiser that is slightly faster, perhaps, than the ships that I have now, like the Leipzig, would be beneficial to hunting down these guys faster. Let's see what I can do when I'm still more or less sticking to historical guidelines. That whole sticking to guidelines is going to be tricky. Because the ship, the Scharnhorst, is officially a battleship. But in this game, it's more akin to a battlecruiser. It's more akin to a battlecruiser. I mean, it's just there on the edge of it. According to Wikipedia, it displaces 38,100 tons there. And it can do a speed of 31 knots. 31. I'm going to give it standard quarters. I'm going to give it the engines that it had, which were geared steam turbines. Hopefully that's not going to make it too expensive. Let's set up the main towers first. Main tower, secondary tower. Now the armament of this ship is 9 11-inch guns. 9 11-inch guns. Which I believe would be very beneficial to taking down cruisers in a hurry. That's not sticking. Move. Oh, sorry. No, I need to push it further back, not forward. Back, not forward. There. And let's throw in a funnel. Okay, this one then. 53. No. Induced. There you are. Currently, I think these ships would already be pretty useful. Because they can do 31 knots, which is more or less on par with the enemy. They cost 43 million. But of course, we're going to have to add a bunch more stuff. I think we're going to end up with a battlecruiser around 75 million or so. It also will depend on whether I give them radar and such, but considering that they're to hunt down enemy cruisers, I think radar is useful. Because it means that your long-range accuracy is just more, well, it's more accurate. It's more feasible. Long-range accuracy again. Do I go for semi-armor piercing super heavy shells? I know that the Scharnhorst probably didn't have those. But against a cruiser, I suppose if you fill them up with enough AP, a semi-armor piercing shell should do enough damage, right? Should. Let's put their secondary armor or secondary armament in place as well. Dual 6-inchers. I hope that's going to fit. No, it is not. What if I increase the beam? Whoops. Sit. No. Not smoothly anyway. Reduce the beam. It's going to make the ship a lot more expensive. There. Barbette armor, yes. Citadel, yes please. Anti-flood. Critical. Anti-torp, yes. Loading system, all of it. Turrets, electrical. This. 68 million. So far so good. It's not a cheap ship. But it can do the job. 69 million, 70 million. Let's go for 5-inch dual barrels. 1, 2, 3. So instead of 6-inch that the ship had, I'm going to give them a lower caliber of 5-inch. They also had 14 4-inchers. Probably won't fit. So I'm going to reduce that to 3 and spread them out a little bit. And then we have a bunch of 1.5 inchers. So 2 inchers. But I kind of doubt that we'll ever use these. That would be there, and there, and there. Okay. Let's push this out a bit more. That's more like it. Turning circle, 704. Yeah. Don't think so. Turning circle's still bad, but at least I'll see the torpedoes from a bit further away. But what am I going to do with these shells? Right? What am I going to do with these shells? Because semi-armor piercing is fun. But if I encounter a battleship, it's just going to laugh at me. It's just going to laugh at your face. Not really care. Incendiary shells could do something against a battleship. especially with super heavy shells. They give you more fire chance. Tricky. Cap's more likely. I think Cap's just going to overpen. No, we're going to use semi-armor piercing. I know it's not historical in that sense, but in this case, I believe that the semi-armor piercing shells are more viable to the type of ship that I need. Also, I'm going to make them smaller. As long as the game permits me to. And it does. Because this is going to save me quite a few million. And potentially reduce the build time. Well, it's 19 months. Still 4 weight offset, but I can use that. I can fix that. Reinforced 1. So ideally I'd not get hit by torpedoes at all. But, you know, if it happens. We do 35? No, not with light engine efficiency. And the ship gets a lot more expensive. Stick to 32 knots. We'll just run at them at high speed. And yeah, I guess a bit more superstructure armor to make sure that their enemy shells don't do that much damage. Maybe reduce or increase aft belt a little, like that. Then I get a 2.5 weight offset. Decrease the foredeck slightly, 2.14 offset. I don't want to push this thing too far away, because otherwise it's going to just blow the ship up. Aft belt a bit more. Aft deck a bit more. Superstructure a bit less. 1-3. It's not stellar, it's not perfectly balanced, but it will do the job. Oh, crap. My turning circle. 442. 413. It's about as good as it's going to get, unless I switch to unbalanced. That just means I lose a ton of speed in a turn. 307 though. Ship's gonna cost 77 million. Let's reduce sonar to sonar 2, because now I don't need as much torpedo spotting. And the rest of that... What sort of shells do I need here? Yeah, mostly HE, I think. Although, well, we're hunting cruisers. We're hunting cruisers, so maybe... Fire start, which you can't pen, and otherwise use AP. Simple. Done. Scharnhorst. Ish. Save the design, and we're going to get 2 of those. If I can afford that. 18 million, I can afford that. Scharnhorst class. I'll take 2, thank you. So, we got 10 months until a couple of heavy cruisers come off the line. We got 4 months until a whole bunch of destroyers join the fleet. The H-41 is going to take 31 months. We got the Super Deutschland in 21 months, another super heavy in the form of an H-41 in 31 months, in 21 months, 2 battle cruisers. If we live that long. But I fully expect so. These other 2 battles, I'm going to keep them for the next one. Over here we have the Kaiser Wilhelm der Große against a British battlecruiser, British heavy. The light cruiser, I think this is... Oh, sorry. This is the French. Right? Yeah. Yeah. This is the French. Yes, this should be interesting. Next time. Okay, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Next time around, this battle coming up. 3 destroyers, 1 battleship against 1 battlecruiser, a heavy, a light, another light, and a DD. Join me next time, and we'll see this thing to the end.